Let's turn our attention now to India. Billionaire and founder of Open Society, George Soros, has launched a scathing attack on Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Soros says Modi and Gautam Adani are close allies and that their fate is closely intertwined. Soros made an ominous prediction. He reckons Modi's political position will be significantly weakened because of Hindenburg's fraud charges against Adani. He said this will lead to a democratic revival in India, but is not India or isn't India already a democracy? Not so much. Now, according to Soros, he says Modi isn't really a democrat. Listening to what Soros told the Munich Security Conference on Thursday.
Adani Enterprises tried to raise funds in the stock market but failed. Adani is accused of stock manipulation and his stock collapsed like a house of cards. Modi is silent on the subject, but he will have to answer questions from foreign investors and in Parliament.
The Indian government has been quick to launch a counterattack. The charge has been led by Smriti Irani, a federal minister in Modi's cabinet. Irani says Soros' remarks hurt India's democratic structure. She attacked Soros' credentials, calling him an economic war criminal.
India has always defeated foreign powers whenever it was challenged and will continue to defeat them in the future too.
Soros' comments have sparked a political slugfest in India. India's leading party, the BJP, or the Bharatiya Janata Party, claims Soros has links to the Congress party. In 2009, Congress Member of Parliament Shashi Tharoor called Soros a close friend. But Congress has also distanced itself from Soros' comments. However, it has reiterated its demand for a parliamentary probe into Adani's firms. Listen in to what a Congress spokesperson had to say.
हिंडनबर्ग रिपोर्ट आती है और वो कहती है
The Hindenburg report said Adani Group procured money from international shell companies. We want to ask who is the real owner of this black money and why the government is not conducting an inspection on the same and why has the government not appointed a joint parliamentary committee.
सरकार इसकी छानबीन क्यों नहीं कराती है?
Clearly, the comments by Soros have kicked up a storm in India. His credentials have been called into question. Surely the philanthropist billionaire has a controversial past. He is notorious for breaking the Bank of England in 1992. Soros shorted the British currency to such an extent in 1992 that the UK was forced to withdraw the pound from the European exchange rate mechanism. Soros has also been blamed for speculative attacks on other currencies, including the currencies of Thailand and Malaysia in the 1990s. In fact, his name is often linked to the Asian financial crisis of 1997. It led to a spectacular decline in major Southeast Asian currencies. Ultimately, the governments had to seek an IMF bailout. Soros' politics is equally controversial as his economic dealings. He is one of the main backers of liberal democracy. He is a prominent funder of the Democratic Party. He founded the Open Society Foundations in 1984. The organization strives to promote liberal democratic values globally. Soros has donated billions of dollars to Open Society. He is accused of instigating regime changes in several countries. He has been consistently critical of nationalist leaders like ex-US President Donald Trump, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Chinese President Xi Jinping. Also, this is not the first time he's criticized the Indian Prime Minister. In 2020, at the World Economic Forum, Soros said, and I'm quoting him, the biggest and the most frightening setback occurred in India when a democratically elected Narendra Modi is creating a Hindu nationalist state, imposing punitive measures on Kashmir, a semi-autonomous Muslim region, and threatening to deprive millions of Muslims of their citizenship. End of this quote. Soros' critics accuse him of funding the CAA or the CAA protests in India. He is also charged with funding the farmers' agitation. Soros can't be called just another billionaire businessman. He is on a global political mission. So here's a question. Does this man have an agenda against India or is looking to cash in on the Adani saga? WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.